The bill was published last week after the Supreme Court decided MPs and peers must have a say before Article 50 could be triggered. It rejected the government's argument that Mrs. May had sufficient powers to trigger Brexit without consulting Parliament. Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn says the battle of the week ahead was to shape negotiations, to put jobs, living standards and accountability center stage. Mr. Corbyn had imposed a three-line whip, the strongest sanction at his disposal, on his MPs to vote in favor of the government's Brexit bill. However, 47 Labour MPs defied the whip, while shadow cabinet members Rachel Maskell and Dawn Butler quit the party's front bench shortly before the vote. Joe Stevens had resigned last week, with the total of 13 Labour frontbenchers voted against their own party position. In truth, the substance of the government's white paper will be similar to the speech the Prime Minister gave last month, setting out priorities for the forthcoming negotiations with the EU. Mrs. May has set a deadline of 31 March for invoking Article 50 of the Lisbon Treaty. Talks with the EU are expected to last up to 2 years, with the UK predicted to leave the 28-member negotiation. Mrs. May has set a deadline of 31 March for invoking Article 50 of the Lisbon Treaty. Talks with the EU are expected to last up to 2 years, with the UK predicted to leave the 28-member organization in 2019. Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte says he will issue an executive order for military support in his fight against illicit drugs, which he says was a national security threat, and he would kill more people if he had to. The Maricura leader ruled out declaring martial law and said he did not need extra powers but wanted to bring the armed force of the Philippines into its drugs war because he could no longer trust law enforcement agencies. All police operations in the drug crackdown were suspended on Monday due to deep-rooted corruption. Mr. Duterte has placed an anti-drugs agency in charge of the campaign and says he wants the armed force to play a supportive role. Some 7,600 people have been killed since Mr. Duterte launched his war on drugs 7 months ago. More than 2,500 in what police says were shot out during raids and sting operations. But New York-based Human Rights Watch says involving the military was the wrong move because the armed forces had a track record of extrajudicial killings, particularly where communist rebels were concerned. Mr. Duterte says he cared little for drug dealers and addicts and had underestimated the scale of the problem when he made his initial target of 6 months to win his war. And now sport news.